I'm Shawndeez Jadali. I am a second year, so last year was my first year here at Cal, participating in the Occupy movement. And I'm a Peace and Conflict Studies major. I remember when Occupy was getting started that I began doing more work in Oakland because Cal hadn't really developed an Occupy movement yet, and that kind of left me confused that Berkeley wasn't really involved yet. But as I was being involved in Oakland and I did the first general strike, I remember on the 9th people texting me telling me that there was a lot going down on our campus, which surprised me, and I'd heard that 40 people were arrested. And that really made me think that maybe we had started our own movement at Cal. So I rushed home from work and I got over to campus and I saw just thousands of kids and thousands of police. And I knew that something was about to start. And I heard a lot of people telling me about the arrests, and I heard that they happened in kind of a violent way, so I knew that this was about to be very significant in the history of Occupy Cal and the establishment of Occupy Cal. So yeah, I stayed that entire night. I knew from then on that Occupy Cal was born. I got my sleeping bag, I went and grabbed all my friends, and we all went to Sproul. And I remember waiting there for hours, waiting for the police to come in, try and get rid of us in our tents. That night we tried to stay overnight on Sproul. I remember trying to sleep out and being just disrupted so many different times by the police. I remember threats of tear gas, threats of different forms of violence, but in fact all they did was, you know, the roughhousing, the pushing, the shoving, and arrest a few more people and take all our tents and basically take over the space that we had arranged. Our encampment grew. I remember it was very small in the beginning. I was one of the people initially who slept out. So there was about 6 of us, I'd say, who were there. Yeah, we would have like slots and rotations, and we would switch exactly who would be there at any given time. And it was rough and it was cold, but we knew that what we had to do was stay out there and hold the space, which is exactly what we did. And I believe that we established the basis for the entire encampment. Looking back, I think that it was definitely the most valuable experience I've had at college so far, and it's definitely not a typical college experience. I think that I learned just as much, if not more, at Occupy Cal meetings, in those late night encampment talks, than I did in any of my classes here at UC Berkeley. And it's an experience that I can never give or forget for anything. It's I know that Occupy strengthened the community and brought a lot of people together that typically wouldn't have, and brought down a lot of barriers and opened a lot and started a lot of conversations. And I think that's what was most necessary at the time, was just to change the topic of conversation in this country. And I think that what Occupy did was definitely make a lot of people who wouldn't typically talk about these things start talking about these things. And I'm so glad and grateful that I got an opportunity to take part in it and experience it as a first year. And it definitely turned out to be the Berkeley experience that I was expecting. So.